If you're feeling like your to do list just keeps growing and you aren't sure how to prioritize your time, I have a few recommendations on where to begin to help you feel organized versus overwhelmed.
Are you ready to stop the chaos, the stress, the overwhelm that's filling your life? I'm Renee Matt, and together you and I are going to build simple routines that are going to change your life. When you put these habits into practice, you're going to be able to organize your life in a way where you can be there for your family, pay off your debt, save money, your house can stay organized, you don't have to stress about what's for dinner, and you still get time for yourself. So without further ado, let's get started. Welcome to the Routine Advantage Podcast.
One of the things that we talk about on this podcast is getting our 5 foundational routines in place. And if you're new here, welcome. But also, I want to let you know what those 5 foundational routines are so that it gives you a better understanding of what I'm talking about when we talk about all of the other to dos on our list. So, your 5 foundational routines is basically building very simplified and prioritized. Like, you take the most important items, you pull them into a concise routine that is efficient and effective for your life. So they're customized to you in 5 basic areas to just give you that sense of feeling like you have things pulled together, things aren't falling apart, it's not so chaotic, it doesn't feel so frazzled all the time. And you don't feel like you're being pulled in all the different directions because you've got this foundational plan set in these 5 basic areas. So, those are the routines that you really want to focus on getting in place and having a plan so that you feel like you have a little bit of control there. But especially with the daily 7 home routine, that seems to be a big one that it's the 7 priority tasks that are needing to be done to reset your home, to make your home feel tidy so that you don't feel like your house is just a nightmare and like a tornado just went through. We want to reset those things. But often there are always a ton of things that need to be done that are not on our concise list in these 5 foundational routines. We've got other things going on and we need to know, when do we tackle those? When do we take time for those things? And that is a really important question because we get so overwhelmed and bogged down in our brains when we are constantly thinking of all of the things that are being left undone. Just because we have a routine in place to reset our home doesn't mean we're not thinking about when those ceiling fans need to be cleaned, or when the windows need to be washed, or when the basement needs to be decluttered and cobwebs taken out, or whatever your other tasks are throughout your home. We still need to know when to do those because those aren't part of our daily routine. So, today we're talking about how to prioritize tasks when our to do list is getting too long. So, number one, it is focusing on your foundational routines first. Let's focus on the things that we can do that are going to be shorter things that we can accomplish and start helping us feel more organized. So, the 5 foundational routines that I talk about here are your morning routine, your meal planning routine, your daily 7 home routine, your movement routine, and your budget routine. And you can just think about it, like close your eyes and think about it. If you have a solid morning routine where you are able to get up, you can focus on your needs first so that you feel really fulfilled and energized going into your day so that you can show up better for others throughout your day. It just gives you that sense of peace right away in the morning rather than chaos. If you have a solid meal planning routine, you know that you have a plan for dinner every night. You're not going to be stressing about what's for dinner. You have an organized system to have some produce prepped to make dinner time even easier. You know exactly when you're going to go grocery shopping and you only have to stop at the store one time for the week, for your whole week. And like, it just simplifies everything. And your stress around meal times is completely taken away and it feels better. And when you have a daily 7 home routine in place, you have a super short routine to reset your home so that it always feels tidy enough to be company ready at any point. Like, that is something that you don't have to stress about because it's really easy to quickly reset your home in under 30 minutes. When you have your movement routine in place, you are giving yourself a block of time to move your body and feel energized and feel really good and healthy as you move throughout your day to just give you that space to actually get up and move your body. And when you have your budget routine in place, you don't stress about finances because you have a plan before your month even begins, knowing exactly where you are wanting your money to go and what your plans are for your money. So you can see already that taking all of these things off your to-do list and getting these 5 routines in place is already going to be a big weight off your shoulders, but we are going to have all of those other tasks yet to do. So that's the first step, is just focusing on getting those routines in place. Now, if that feels super overwhelming to you, you could skip it and just put your daily 7 home routine in place first and start there. So that is definitely an option. If you need to go back and like walk through this process and really build it from scratch and know exactly what I'm talking about here, you can go to episode 5. That's the first episode that I talk about the daily 7 home routine. I do have other episodes. I even have one where you can take my routine and just copy it for yourself and then just tweak it to adjust to your life and your home and make it work for you. But you can go back to episode 5 to understand what I'm talking about when I'm talking about the daily 7 home routine. So basically, you take 7 of your priority tasks and you build those into a routine, and that is what you focus on, repeating over and over. But when you are going through that process, you're going to find that there are a lot of other tasks that are still left on your list that it's like, those aren't my priorities, but they still need to be done. So that's where we're going to move to step 3. And when you go to step 3, you are going to basically take all of those other tasks and you are going to put them in a new list. And this is going to become your annual task list. Now, I have an entire episode focused on your annual task list, and that is episode 48. If you want to go back and listen to that, and that's just, again, the first episode I have focused on that to help you build it, and then I have more that talk about it. But what you're using for your annual task list is basically the list of all those other things that need to be done. Now, it's not a to-do list necessarily because we're going to have a little bit more of a thought out process with this list. You're going to take some columns and you're going to go from January, February, March, April, all the way through to December, and you're creating columns next to your list of to-dos. And then you're going to shade in the months where you are hoping to get those things done. So if you are wanting to clean your um clean your washing machine. Let's say you need to do a deep clean of your washing machine. You want to do that maybe like in January. So you're going to shade in January. Well, then maybe in February, you want to go through and declutter all your shoes. And you want to go through your entryway and just clear that out, make sure all your shoes are refreshed, or you can get rid of whatever you don't want anymore. You can do that in February. So then you're going to shade that in February. And you're just going to go through each thing, and maybe some things are once a year, maybe some things are every month, and maybe some things are quarterly. You just go through each thing and you just shade in when you would like to do it. Now, that doesn't mean you are set in a defined schedule, but that is your ideal time frame. And what you can do is when you start the month, you can go and take all of the shaded cells for all of your January tasks. If you're getting ready to start January, go and take a little post it note and write down all the January tasks of what you would like to get done this month. And then count them out. If you have 20 tasks that are shaded for February and that's your list of things to do, then you know that if there are 4 weeks in February, you need, or in January, or whatever month I just said, I don't remember what I just said, but in the month that you're beginning, you want to divide it up by how many weeks there are. So if there are 4 weeks in that month, then you know that ideally you need to get 5 tasks done per week. That feels much more doable than just having this giant list of to-dos and not knowing where to begin. So that is step 3, is just putting your annual task list together, and you can use episode 48 to do that. Once you put your list together, you're going to go to step 4. And this is where you take that list for the month and you have divided it all up. And as you're planning out your plan for the week, you're going to choose 3 to 5. Ideally, start with 3 just to be on the safe side so it's not so overwhelming. Start with 3 and choose 3 priority tasks from your annual task list. Now, this goes in addition to your daily routines, like those 5 foundational routines. This is just saying, okay, I need to pull 3 things that I think are the most important to get done this month that are on my list of things to do and pull those into your weekly planning. And now those become your priority tasks for the week. Now, once you do this, you move to step 5, and that is where you actually decide and plug them into your week and decide when you want to get those things done. So, do you want to pull a block of time on Tuesday nights because that is your like project night and you want to just hammer through all of them? Do you need to actually plug them in where it's like, okay, I'm going to do one on Tuesday night, I'm going to do one on Thursday morning, and I'm going to do the other one on Saturday morning when I have a little bit more time. And maybe it shifts from week to week depending on the task that you have pulled. It's completely up to you. This is your time to plan out your week based on what works best for your schedule and also your priorities and what's on your calendar of what's going on in life, too, because everything is going to shift and change. But having a plan that is flexible enough to work with that is what is key here. So you can go ahead and you can pull those and plan them out. And then if you get them done and you're like, this was a really great week. I have more time. I want to tackle more. Then go ahead and grab more tasks off your annual task list and tack on a couple more of the priority tasks for your week and just keep tackling things as long as it feels good to you. But starting with only 3 is going to make it feel more bite sized. It's going to make it feel more doable, and you're more likely to get it done rather than just saying, okay, I have a list of 20 things to do. I'm just going to put it on the front of my week and focus on this task list. It's going to feel too overwhelming and you're probably not going to do any of it. Or you'll get like one done and then it's just going to feel so overwhelming that you're not going to do any of it. And you're going to end the month saying, I had so much to get done this month and I didn't do any of it. Like, we don't want to be in that place. So let's start smaller, get those things done because it feels more doable. And then if we want to add on, you can add on, and you're more likely to get all 20 of those things done throughout the month than if you were to just put the whole list at the beginning of the month and get them all done. Like, it is a weird thing, but our brains work differently when we break it down and make it much simpler because it feels more doable. And the cool thing about this is that not only are you getting things done, but because you have a place to put all of your tasks and to create a plan of when you're going to do those, you stop stressing about all of those other undone tasks because they're on your annual task list and you know when they're going to get done throughout the year because it's not just on a running to-do list. You actually have it planned out. You know when it's shaded in on when your plan is to get it done. And then when you get something done, go back to that list and instead of having it shaded in, just put an X in the box to say, yep, this is the month I did it. And you will have not only a full plan of when you actually did things for planning next year, but you're also going to have kind of a record of things of when they were done. So you can look back and be like, okay, I know that I just cleaned ceiling fans 2 months ago. Something else might be a little bit more of a higher priority right now because I just did that 2 months ago. Or it might be like, oh, I did it 2 months ago. It's time to do it again. You're like, I don't know what your standards are, how you want to live your life. Maybe your house gets super dusty really fast. Maybe it doesn't get dusty at all and it only needs to be done once every 6 months. It's completely up to you, but you will have a record of when these things were done and you don't have to stress about them because you have a plan moving forward. And it just takes a huge weight off your shoulders knowing that those things are set and they have a plan. Now, the other thing about this task list is that just because you have it, written out and you have a plan for all those things doesn't mean that you can't edit it later. So if something comes up and you think of things, add them to your list and shade in those squares on when you are wanting to get those done and just keep building on your list so you have a fully functioning list to keep moving forward for the next year. If you need ideas, I have listed ideas in previous episodes as well. It's everything from, washing your car, getting oil changes, checking your rings for the warranty. It's all sorts of things. It's like cleaning your air filters in your house. It's changing the batteries in your smoke alarm. It's all of those things that need to be done, but we don't necessarily know when to do them. It's just getting a feeling of being super organized, but not stressing about all these things that need to be done because we have a plan for them. So I hope that this feels doable and it actually makes a little bit more sense on how to tackle all of those other priority items without making them feel like they're bogging down your days and your weeks and just helping to alleviate that stress. I know for me, I was trying to do so much and trying to keep it on this running list. And once I actually sat down and created this plan and started to kind of break down how my brain worked best, this is what I came up with. And it has worked so well. And I hope that it helps you too. It does take a little bit of time to get it set up in the beginning, but once you do, I can guarantee you that it will make a difference and you'll start to see the changes and how things are getting done, but also on how you feel. So I will recap that for you so that you have kind of this list of how to prioritize those tasks when your to-do list is getting too long. Is number 1, you want to focus on your foundational routines first. That is your morning routine, your meal planning routine, your daily 7 home routine, your movement routine, and your budget routine. These are super simple routines. And you can go back into my podcast episodes and check those out on how to build those. It's all there. You can also go to my website at reneematt.com. There is a blueprint. If you go to reneematt.com/blueprint, you can get the blueprint to actually like go through week by week and build simplified versions of these. You can also get on my wait list for my course. Number 2 is to make sure you have your daily 7 home routine in place at least. Even if you aren't focusing on your 5 foundational routines, at least get your daily 7 home routine in place. That's going to feel so much better to keep your home tidy and reset. That is episode 5 if you need to go back and check that one out specifically. Step 3 is to take all of those other tasks from that project of when you are actually building your daily 7 home routine. You're going to have a bunch of them, but take all those other tasks and brainstorm the list of all the things that need to be done to create your annual task list. And this is where you build out your little template or spreadsheet, or you can even do it on a piece of paper. It works. You can go to episode 48 to build that, and it'll walk you through it. Then you go to step 4, and that is as you are planning out your week and you are sitting down, you're looking at your schedule, you're planning out your weekly menu, all those things, choose 3 priority tasks from your annual task list. If you need to go up to 5, you can go up to 5, but don't take more than that because we want to keep it super simple so that you actually get them done and it feels more doable. You can always grab more later, but start preferably, I would say start with 3 and just take those as your 3 priority tasks that you're going to focus on from that month and do that this week. And then number 5 is to actually take those tasks and now decide when you're actually going to plug them in for the week. Do you need to plug specific ones in at certain times through the week? Do you need to just plug in one block of time to get all of them done at one time? You have to decide what works best for you, but this is a way that you can plan ahead of time so that you feel on the ball. You aren't just trying to play catch up and get things done as they come at you. You're being more proactive rather than reactive. And that makes a big difference when you're taking the time to build these routines and plan ahead. So it's going to make such a big difference. Like I said, you can go to my website, reneematt.com, for more information. You can also pop back into the previous episodes for more inspiration and more help. And if you just need somebody to talk things through and be there and be in this with you, then I would love for you to continue listening to the podcast. Thank you for being here. I super appreciate all of our listeners. And like I said, if you're new, welcome. We are super happy to have you. You can pop over to our free Facebook community at theroutineadvantagecommunity.com. But otherwise, thank you for being here, and I will catch you back here on the next episode.
Did you love that episode or learn something useful? If so, would you do me a huge favor? My goal is to grow this podcast and help as many women as I can break free from the overwhelm so they can truly enjoy their life. The best way for me to do this is for you to leave a 5-star written review on your podcast app and to share this episode with a friend or in your Instagram stories. I appreciate you being here. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you on the next episode. Take care.